looks like he's going to try and attack that expansion. And those tanks can't get much closer because they're sieged.
And oh my god, all those SCVs just blew up by that mine.
Wow. Mines are definitely a double-edged sword.
Yeah, and it doesn't look very good for Flash right now. I mean, he's going to lose his 12 o'clock expansion, and he needed that expansion to actually fight on somewhat even ground support. So now, Flash, he's probably mining off of only his mineral only, and at this point, he just needs to hope for a miracle.
Definitely, he had a huge advantage, but he just lost it to one good attack by StOrk, and I think there's a stasis that goes off, and I think Flash he doesn't have many SCVs at his mineral only either because most of them got stormed, and StOrk still has a big army.
Yeah, at this point, if I was Flash, I would try to take the top left expo and mine up the middle lane and try to just hold as much as I can right now. And we see Flash, he's setting up in the middle, and he's trying to hold off against this push.
Yeah, and StOrk's coming in right now, and StOrk's just going to be able to overrun this. He has way too many units for Flash to deal with. He also has upgrades now. I noticed he got a few upgrades. The Arbiter does go down, but it's not going to matter anyways because there's just too many Dragoons here for Flash to deal with.
Yeah, and what we see here that Flash is his economy and his armies are very split, and for Terran, you need to keep your army together.
Definitely, you can't afford to leave that split, and that's kind of bad building placement there by Flash. But you know, he just doesn't have. I think he could have capitalized more on his advantage when he had it, because he didn't have many factories. He still has less factories than StOrk has gateways.
Yeah, and at this point we see Flash. He's trying to set up in the middle. He's trying to hold off against all these pushes, but it is taking its toll. We see his supply is 40 less than that of StOrk, and that's definitely not a good position to be in. And Flash really needs to hope for a miracle right now.
Do you think that it'd be a good thing to do at this point for StOrk to transition into carriers at this point, because everybody knows that this map is really good for carriers, and StOrk's definitely got the expansions to get those.
Well, I mean, StOrk at this point is really ahead either way, so I mean, he could just mass a lot of Zealot Dragoon army and still run through Flash.
Yeah, Flash desperately trying to hold off any Protoss army, but here comes StOrk, and he's gonna be able to pick off these units. He is gonna back off for now, though.
Yeah, Flash doing really well there, defending against that small push, but once Stasis kicks in, it's not going to be very easy for Flash to defend his side of the ramp.
Definitely. Now Flash has finally decided to keep his units more close together and together. Dark Templar's coming in, but they're not going to be able to do much.
So what I'm seeing Flash do here is he's actually just massing up a lot of units from his two bases, and he's not going to go for that extension on the top left. I think that's because he wants to see StOrk make a big mistake in micro and then be able to take map control again. But as we see here, StOrk's playing it safe. He's just massing up for a large attack, and I think it's going to be coming right now.
Yep, and here comes the Arbiter. It's going to stasis a couple of tanks, and then the Dragoons are going to move in. Zealots moving in. Everything's moving. 3 tanks got stasis, and these Dragoons are coming up. These tanks are all going down. There's too many Zealots. There's too many Dragoons. It's just too many units for Flash to handle.
Yeah, and at this point, it's pretty much GG because Flash just lost all of his units right there.
Flash really can't get back from this. I think he was anticipating some carriers, actually, because he did get a lot of glass. Or they could have just been to take out those Arbiters, but it doesn't really matter because he's not going to be able to defend from anything else. And you can see Psy from Flash.
Yeah, and I think the major turning point in this game is that major attack in the middle where StOrk destroyed all of Flash's army by really good positioning.
Yeah. I do actually, that Reaver has 15 kills or so, but what do you think about StOrk continuing going Reavers? He lost 3 or 4 Reavers this entire game. Most Protosses would just go, 1 or 2 Reavers and that's it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's definitely a good idea to have Reavers and High Templar drops throughout the whole game, because in late game people stop doing it because they are focusing on macro, but if you have the macro and micro capabilities, definitely harass while you attack, because it's probably the most effective strategy you can do.
Yeah, and at this point, it's about the point of no return for Flash. He's about to lose his 12 o'clock expansion. Even if this attack does not kill it, StOrk's gonna be able to take it out very shortly after.
Yeah, and what we've seen today by StOrk is a really good showing of how to come back in a almost hopeless situation for a Protoss player.
Yeah, he was just totally behind. I really thought he was gonna lose early on in the game, and now just too many units, just a lot of units here for StOrk, and he's gonna be pushed across this little valley, and then it's gonna be GG there.
Yeah, and definitely a really great play by StOrk. And but I mean, also we have to give a lot of credit to Flash. Because he's like a new player, he doesn't have the late game experience, but his early game looked really, really strong. I mean, definitely in the beginning he had one of the biggest leads that I've ever seen.
Yeah, he just totally anticipated what was going on. He knew how to react, and he reacted perfectly. He just couldn't handle this late game from StOrk. StOrk's definitely got a lot more experience on Flash.
Yeah, and definitely I'd have to credit some of his ingenuity. I mean, if I saw a 2-gate fast expansion by Protoss player, I wouldn't know what to do. But Flash definitely played it really well. He played a 1 factory expansion. He played a really solid game. But yeah, it's just that one micro mistake that cost him the whole game. So definitely this is why StOrk has such a great game. Like one small mistake, everything's balanced on a knife edge. So
Definitely.
great.
And this is probably going to be the last battle. That was a really nice stasis there. I caught like 5 tanks, and that is GG. Really nice game right there.
Yeah. So if we ever see another Protoss player play, definitely like if you play Protoss, definitely try to harass the whole game if you can, as it's really effective later on in the game. And for Terran players, definitely try to play like Flash did in the beginning, and it'll definitely help you out.
Yeah, that was a great game from both players. They both put on an amazing act right there. They just did. Both of them did really well that game, and it's a really exciting game right there.
Yeah, and StOrk is going to advance out of his group 3-0.
Yeah, that was a close one though. He could have lost that easily.
Yeah, and we'll have to see because the second place in their group is going through a 3-man tiebreaker, so it's definitely going to be a very interesting matchup.
Yeah, Flash looks a little bit disappointed right there, but that was a good game. I think he shouldn't be disappointed because he did play very well right there.
Yeah. So thanks for listening. This is Zalfor.
And this is Conaanaa. GG.